guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I went through the archives of my collection just looking at history, I guess, to see old videos, how I've grown, trying to get some creativity going in my mind of what to film, and I stumbled across a video from 2015, and it was, or I guess it was 2016, because it was the top 15 products from 2015, and I watched it and I was like, wow, I still use quite a bit today as I did then. So this video is about products that have stood the test of time, things that I've used for 4 years and still love and still use and still repurchase. So I thought maybe you'd be interested because these products truly are, I guess, my favorites. These are ones that have stood through all the declutters, all the me downsizing of my collection, or they're ones that I've repurchased and I still love and enjoy. I feel like this is a real true testament of these products because I have used them for about 4 years, and I feel like a lot of people change a lot over that course of time. I mean, trends change, people change, I mean, our own preferences change, and so to have these still be in my makeup collection, all of them are still like my favorite products. It really truly stands that these are holy grail items. They've stood the test of time. I've had them in my collection for ages. I couldn't really see my collection without these products. So, well, let's just get into this. Now, I'm only talking about the products that I still currently use because I feel like a lot of the products were not cruelty-free, and I am cruelty-free now. But if they were cruelty-free brands, there are a couple that I would totally go out and buy, like the Dolly, the Moisturizing Sorbet. One of my favorite moisturizers of all time, but unfortunately they are not cruelty-free. So, let's start off with brushes. So I was raving about e.l.f. brushes in that video. So I've had some of the e.l.f. brushes in my collection for about 4.5, 5 years. One that I know is my favorite is the e.l.f. powder brush. So this is a flat top brush. This one here is the original from that video. So 3.5 years, but I've had it for over 5 years, this one particular brush. Sad story, this specific brush is broken. It just happened about a week ago, so it's a very sad moment in this house because I absolutely love this brush. It was like $3, and it has stood the test of time, me washing it over and over again. This is my most used brush. I use it for multiple sections of my makeup. I use it for powder, bronzer, highlight, you know, I can contour with it, I can use blush. Like, this is my #1 recommended brush. And I do have a backup, so I am glad that I am not without one because I love this brush so much. One brush from the e.l.f. line that I don't have anymore that I mentioned in that video was their complexion brush. It was like a big fluffy brush. It's mostly because I didn't use it that much. I have one powder brush, which is this giant one from Sephora, and I replaced the e.l.f. one with this one because this one's just bigger surface area, it's a little bit faster. But another brush that I have loved is the highlighting brush, which is a nice tapered one. I really like using this for like baking underneath the eyes. I don't bake all that often, but if I am setting underneath my eyes, it just is really tapered to like get in the inner corner. So I just really like the precision of this brush. It's just a really nice fluffy brush. It's their highlighting brush. You can definitely use it for highlight or blush. Very dear to my heart. I love them. I have so many in my collection. If you are in need of brushes or just want to try some really good ones out, e.l.f., they're affordable, but they perform as high-end so that you are not missing out on quality at all. Next we have a hair product that I can't even tell you how many times I've repurchased, how many times I've used up, and that's the Klorane Dry Shampoo. Now this one does come out white, but as long as you actually like zhuzh it into your hair and work with it, it goes away. The whiteness goes away, and my hair does feel clean. It does look clean. It doesn't feel dirty. So this has been a dry shampoo that I've tried probably dozens of different dry shampoos. This is the one I always go back to. This is the one I always repurchase. It's $20 for a big can, but it lasts me quite a while. I don't dry shampoo my hair all that often, but I do really enjoy this. I did notice in a recent video that I had used it, but I forgot to like actually work it through, and you could see like a giant white spot here. So it's not me growing gray, it was just I didn't actually work the product into my hair, but I do love it. Again, I don't even know how many I have repurchased. Next we have a couple Too Faced products. I was really into Too Faced then, but I also feel like Too Faced hadn't gone through their whole changeover. They hadn't been bought out by Estee Lauder, so I feel like they were still putting out new products, and I feel like now they've kind of lost their groove a little bit, but I was really into Too Faced in 2015. Now these products are not the originals, because one I had used up and one I had decluttered because it was old and it was time. And so I don't have the originals, but I still have them in my collection. I've repurchased them. I still love them and use them. So the first is one of their Creme lipsticks. I have been in love with their lipstick formula from their original line. These are really beautiful nudes. This is the shade in Naked Dolly, and it's just a perfect My Lips But Better nude. It's the only true nude in my collection, and I didn't have it for a while. I had finished up the original. I had like a deluxe sample, then I got a full size and I finished that one up too, and then I just recently repurchased this one. So it has been probably about 2 years since I've had it in my collection, but I have fallen in love with it again. It's just like the perfect nude for me. It's just a creamy lipstick formula. It wears really gracefully, makes my lips hydrated, doesn't dry down. It doesn't have the longest wear time, and I have said that in the past too. Like, it doesn't have the longest wear time, but it's such a luxurious feeling on the lips, and I just feel really fancy with a gold little bullet of lipstick. So I mean, that lipstick is almost like a classic in my collection. I'm so happy to have it back. Again, it had been a couple years since I had it, but I remember loving that lipstick, and I'm so happy that it's here. Next we have the Natural Eyes palette. I had one in the tin packaging. I used it to death. I traveled with it everywhere. I had hit pan on a few different shadows. It was starting to just not perform as well because I used it to death. Like, it was used and abused. So I did declutter it back in January when we moved, because I was like, I'm just gonna replace it, and then they changed the packaging, so there's that. So I do have the new Natural Eyes palette, and I still love it. It's just a good color. Like, it's just good colors for me. I used it in my recent Cats Choose My Makeup challenge, and I have fallen in love with this again. It's such a good palette. I love the new packaging. I will say they're not as, they're a little bit more patchy, but they smell amazing now, so there's that. Next we have a highlight. This is the Balm's Mary-Lou-Minizer, and I still have this and I still love it, and it stood the test of time through all my declutters. It is a beautiful highlight. I don't use it as much as I could, just because I feel like trends have changed a little bit, that we're not into that very stark highlight, at least not me. I much prefer a much more wearable highlight. I think if I worked at Sephora, I would still be using that crazy beaming highlight, but I like a little something, I do like something a little bit more subtle now, but it's still in my collection. I still love using it. It's still beautiful. I still recommend it. I think they have a darker shade now too, right? So I really do love this product. The final product is a blush from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush in Mood Exposure. So now that I know that I've had it for over 4 years, I'm thinking I should sanitize it. It's been in my collection a while, and it still looks beautiful. It still performs like it's brand new, fresh out of the box. I love this blush. It is an expensive blush, but if it's a color like this, that is one that's a staple, one that works well with so many different eye looks and makeup looks, and one that just is my perfect shade, I'm so happy that I actually did bite the bullet and splurge on a product that has really lasted this long in my collection. It still performs just as well. It was such an investment when I purchased it, and I am glad that I did it because it's still here and I still love it and I still use it all the time. And I do have a new shade that I have been loving too, which is the Brilliant Nudes one. This is one of their strobe lighting blushes, but I love it as well, and I'm hoping it lasts just as long as my Mood Exposure. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked learning about products that have stood the test of time, about 4 years for all these products, sometimes longer. And I would love to know products that have stood the test of time for you. So let me know down in the comments of what your true staples or holy grail products are. It's kind of crazy with all the different launches and such that have happened to see this many products that are still holding true in my collection. So thank you all so much for coming by today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!